Hello and welcome to Beyond the Scale, Weight Loss and Wellness. I'm your host, Coach Monica. I'm joined today by Coach Darcy, and we are here to guide you through the ins and outs of a lifestyle that's transformed not just our lives, but the lives of countless women navigating the waves of perimenopause and menopause. Whether you're here to shed weight, understand your body better, or simply find a community that gets it, you're in the right place. So sit back and enjoy the next few minutes as we tackle the hot issues of today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is so good to see you this morning. We're a podcast, so it's so good for you to hear us this morning. I never know how to open a podcast the correct way because they can't see us.
No.
But they can hear us. And we can hear your heartbeat as you're watching, and you send us the reviews and you send us the feedback and all of that. So we do hear you. So welcome to this morning's podcast. We've got a really good one today. We're going to go into the feels, Coach Darcy. You and I like to do that. Science kind of stresses us out. We know the science and we can help walk our clients through that nest. But I think what we're going to talk about today is even more important than the science, because it really is a make or break kind of deal when it comes to weight loss, when it comes to metabolic health, when it comes to sustainability, when it comes to your health journey. And so we're going to talk this morning about finding your tribe that's going to lead you to your success story. But before we do that, we are so stinking excited to say we have 1 week left before we launch our 30-day carnivore challenge.
Yay! I'm so excited.
I am too. You and I are kind of doing a sneak peek into this. Like,
yes.
you have started already, not completely, right? Am I right?
I have some of my garden tomatoes and cucumbers as they are growing. So it's not every day. But yeah.
Come October 1st, I'm about 90% right now. And I was just so excited yesterday when I was just kind of walking through my day. Little things excite me. It doesn't take much. You don't have to get me a diamond ring.
Wait, what?
Well, I take that back.
Out of all the choices that you chose, it was a diamond ring.
I do want the diamond ring. I do. I'm a little extra, as my daughter calls it.
I was like, let's put our hands together and see who has the diamond ring.
You know, I was standing up for you the other day. I was standing up for you. I took this to your husband. I did my duty.
Oh, yes.
So yesterday, though, seriously, I was walking around my day. I had a really stressful day yesterday, and I wasn't hungry until about 11:30 in the morning, which is not like me. And then I had about 5 pieces of bacon. And you really feel your food after a while when you strip everything down and when you eliminate everything, you really do have a firsthand feeling of how food fuels you. And I think I told the audience, and I told you that I did a GLP-1 experiment for our clients to build an escape route for them, right? Because the calorie issue is so real, and the food noise and all of that. And so I did an experiment. Oh gosh, it's been about a year. Has it been a year and a half ago?
I feel like it was I think it was at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, time just is crazy. I know it was last year. I know it was 2023.
Okay.
But anyway, I had my the doctor that I contract with. I had her put me on a GLP-1. I can tell you firsthand the feeling that I felt when I was on the GLP-1 of no food noise, of being full, of being satisfied. That feeling is the exact same feeling of being carnivore. Like, there is no difference. If you want the effect of a GLP-1, you want to remove the food noise, and you want to feel content all day and feel the incredibly great mental health, carnivore is it, unfortunately. Yes. You haven't been on GLP-1. Do you feel that when you're on carnivore?
Well, I've been on the pendulum GLP-1, but that was not that was not a shot. That was just a supplement.
Right.
And that to me gave me a first hand of, oh yeah, I have no food noise.
Which is, by the way, how we get our folks off of GLP-1.
Yes.
We put them on a natural one. Right.
Yes. And then because I was trying the natural ways, the natural forms to trigger my ghrelin and leptin, and nothing would work. Even with keto, I was never truly 100% satisfied. And then I went to carnivore, and this was like, I didn't even want to take the supplements but here's the thing with the supplements, it did help clear out my skin, my face.
Yeah.
Like I had acne. And so it's a great probiotic.
Probiotic. Yeah.
But for me, when I went carnivore, that was like this second time, especially taking dairy out. That's right where I am. I have noticed a huge difference in my ankles, and I usually have like this consistent swelling around my ankles and legs, and around my armpits. Those are I know that's a lymph problem. And I used to do the dry brushing. That was helpful, but I've noticed that my ankles feel thin. Like I look down, I'm like, oh, I've actually got the bird legs that my family has. Who would have thought that?
Yeah. Yeah. The swelling's gone.
The swelling has gone down a lot. So that was kudos to taking out my dairy.
Yeah. You're doing a more strict version of carnivore. Yes. And when we do this, so we launch October 1st, we launch our 30-day carnivore challenge where you're going to have a coach. You're going to find out what it's like to live carnivore. And we're going to teach the different carnivore lifestyles. So you get to choose where you want to be in that pendulum. You use that word. I want to use it again. But we're going to teach you all of the things. And we're going to have 4 live sessions. So you're going to have coaching for the 30 days. It is $79.95, which is absolute steal. When we did this as a test run, we asked the people, okay, if you were going to do this again, what would you pay? The average amount is $299. That was the average amount that they gave us. And so we thought, well, we're going to run it this time. Next time may be different, but we're going to run it this time for $79.95. And do you want to talk about the Easter egg here?
Oh, yes. We call them Easter egg hugs now.
Easter egg hugs. We've got an Easter egg hug for you this morning.
You know, those hidden gems. With listening to our podcast, this is the only place you're going to get this coupon. Only place. So we have what was the coupon for?
$5 off.
$5 bucks off.
$5 is $5 these days.
I know,
you know?
Right. We want to help you out in any way possible, and use that $5 for a good piece of steak when you start. But you will get that off. Is there a certain code that you're creating?
We're going to do Easter egg.
Oh, Easter egg.
Yeah, Easter egg. When you type in the code Easter egg, when you subscribe or when you enroll to our carnivore challenge, by the way, if you want to find it and you are just driving and you don't have a link right there, go to kmhealthcoaching.org. You're going to find it about in the middle of the page, the registration link. When you sign up for it, you type in the coupon code Easter egg and you're going to get $5 off. You're not going to get a better deal for 30 days of coaching. And we had an average of about 20 pounds lost last time we ran this thing. So, but even more important than that is we want you to feel good. We want you to find out what it's like to do the most ultimate elimination diet. And, you know, I think it's not sustainable. A lot of people disagree with me. And there's a lot of people who took our May 1st round and they are still on it. And they're about 65 pounds down. I just saw somebody tapped into my Facebook page and said they were 65 pounds down. They haven't done anything.
It's remarkable.
It's incredible.
Seriously.
Now everybody loses. She said
they feel amazing.
Amazing. She's like, the mental health is why I'm doing this, not even the scale. Wow. So the scale just absolutely goes dim.
It's just a bonus.
So good. So once again, we start in a week. All right. This broadcast is going to be on the 23rd. You've got about a week to enroll. If you use the coupon code Easter egg, you're going to get $5 off. 30 days with 2 coaches. You can't go wrong there. And at the end of the deal, we're like, Hey, we know you're scared. We know you're scared to be without coaches. We're not going to leave you hanging. We're going to go with you through your next challenge. If in your next phase, if you want to go keto, whatever you want to do at the end, we will get you transitioned over. We'll tell you what to do to get you transitioned over. So 30 days,
Can
carnivore.
I can I just say though, if you have any intention on thinking that you can eliminate all these foods that you're eating right now, if you're eating the American Standard Diet, and you think that after this carnivore challenge that you're going to be able to bring all of that standard American processed food back,
Mhm.
then this might not be
Not
for
be for
you.
you. No, no, because you'll
I mean,
gain weight.
we don't want you to waste your money. Like
No.
honestly, like we know that the finances, the money, all that stuff
Mhm.
is very precious right now.
Yeah.
It was precious before, but it's very fragile right now. So
Yeah.
we don't want you to waste your money if you're going to just go backwards.
We eliminate the inflammatory foods. We eliminate the poison in the standard American diet. And I saw Dr. Barry say it this week on his page. Imagine if you were an alcoholic and you gave up alcohol for 30 days and you said at the end of the 30 days, I'm going to go have a beer. You're not going to remain alcohol free. You were, and he said the same thing goes if you're a type 2 diabetes, but diabetic. If you give it up for 30 days and you go back to it, you're not going to keep the diabetes away. So
Right?
we teach lifestyle. Now we
Yes.
understand that we are talking to 1 in 3 people who have a food addiction, ultra
Mm,
processed food addiction struggle. And for you, this is a great way to detox. But we're going to teach you how to transition yourself. And I've done about 3 wellness calls, health and wellness calls, who are going to be doing this with us. And I've talked to them about, how to transition, and they understand that they can't do this alone. They understand that they've gotten themselves into a really, really bad place and that they're going to need a coach. And so a couple of them wanted to hire me, right now. And I'm like, why don't you wait? Do the carnivore challenge. And then we will transition to a coaching relationship, because then you're going to be detoxed. You're going to be in a much better place than you are now. So just hold off. Again, a great sales speech from the boss, right? But hold off and join the carnivore,
yes.
and then we will ease into a coaching relationship where we
Right.
will have already established that pattern, and it's going to be a much better process for you. So 1 week, October 1st, carnivore, 30 days. Go to our website, kmhealthcoaching.org, grab your spot. Do not forget the coupon code Easter egg, and we will see you October 1st.
Yay.
So today we're going to talk about a really important topic. I personally feel like this is probably the most important thing in a health journey,
Yes.
because we can do anything for 21 days. We can do anything for even 90 days. We can do it all. But if we don't establish what we're going to talk about today, guarantee you're going to fail. Here's a quote that I found this morning that we were talking about before the podcast. And I was not able to find out the root or who. I heard it was a Spanish Orient where this quote came out, but it just kind of froze my world a little bit this morning. It says, tell me who you hang around with, and I will tell you who you'll become.
Mm.
Mic drop.
Yeah. Well, don't
This,
literally do that, but
no.
no.
It, in our journey, we have about 7 years of healthy coaching practice, right? Of a very, very healthy coaching practice. And we look back at our clients who have failed, and we've looked back at the clients who have succeeded. And this just is a picture of it. Tell me who you hang around with, and I'll tell you who you become. What we want to help you do today is to help you find your tribe. And we want to let you know that you're not broken, and the people you start with will not be the people who you finish with.
Wow.
Coach, have you seen this in your coaching practice, in your time that you've spent with clients, and you think about this? Have you seen any sabotage? Have you seen this thing in bodily form? Have you seen this?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I would say I would have been one of those people.
Start with the very beginning, right?
Right. Being when I first started, I cared what people thought. I cared to be able to, but it was more of, in my perspective, I needed to um have the, oh, I don't know how to put it. I had to look smart and knew what I was
Ah,
doing. What is that? I had to prove myself.
you
I
had to
had to
prove yourself.
prove
Right.
myself to people, and I find that that comes to be come into play with even their clients. So they feel like they have to prove themselves to people in
Hmm.
order to hang out with them. A lot of the clients that tend to have a FOMO or fear of missing out, they struggle big time with this because
Hmm.
their group of people that they want to hang out with are all, going out and drinking or
Hmm.
going out and, doing these fun get-togethers that's based around food, and they are not wanting to miss out on these situations.
Hmm.
Other people that may struggle with this are like me, where they feel like they're having to constantly battle with either their family or their friends about the politics of this,
Hmm.
where the people that don't know anything about this lifestyle, and they're just going, well, I heard
Yeah.
dot dot dot.
Everybody's an expert these days.
Oh, yeah, they become the expert. And so all knowing
Hmm.
people, and they are not confident in this lifestyle,
We've all
in
become
a
Dr.
health
Google.
change.
Right.
Yes.
And sometimes I've even noticed that they don't even Google it anymore. They just pull
No.
it out of their head. And
Or
you're like,
TikTok.
where did that come from?
TikTok's another one where people just pull things out of, but
Yeah. You
you
literally
never.
like when you see my before and after picture, I've lost 130 pounds since 2017 and I've kept it off, right?
Hmm.
You've lost 70,
Hmm.
75. Actually, you're
That.
surpassing that now, aren't you?
Well, I'm 70. I'm sticking
70.
to 70.
Sticking to 70. So,
I'll let you know when it's more than that.
okay. All right, I'll
I'll
change
let
it
you
and
I'll
then
let
I'll
you know when
forget.
it's 75.
Then I'll forget and I'll say 70. But people will look at our before and after pictures and they'll look at the date, 2017, and they'll look at my picture today and they'll be like, oh, keto doesn't work. I'm like, yeah, you're right. Keto doesn't work. It's
No.
only been 7 years, going on
Yeah,
8 years. Yep, you're
right.
right. You're right. It doesn't work.
It
Right.
doesn't. It's not sustainable. Okay.
So people want to be their own experts. People don't want to seek advice. They don't want to seek. I always say, as food addict specialists, we are the last house on the block because food addiction is not identified and it's not officially diagnosed. So we're the last house on the block. But also, we as whole foods coaches are the last house on the block because
Yes.
people they want to try everything first. They want to try these stupid Optavia diets. They want to try these stupid shots. They want to try these, sorry, stupid is a bad word. It's always
You're,
been a bad
I
word. And
mean, you did not prepare us about the soapbox. I'm just saying.
they want to try all these things, these soy-filled crap foods. They want to try everything until they're like, it's not working.
Right.
Some of those will work for a little
Sustainably.
bite. Yeah, sustainably.
All
Some
of
of
those.
these will,
Let's be clear. All of these things will work.
yeah,
They
absolutely.
they will work. The
Hmm.
shot will work. You're
Hmm.
going to see people lose weight. The
Yep.
Optavia, whatever,
Yep.
will work. It works, will work. Like all these
Hmm.
MLM companies, Thrive will work.
Hmm.
The newest fad is going to work because
Uh-huh.
you're being health conscious,
Yes.
and you know that, oh, I need to change what I eat. But in order for those to be sustainable, you're going to be dishing out a whole bunch of money.
Whole bunch of crap ton of
And
money.
then you're going to notice that actually my metabolic health is not so healthy.
Yeah. You become, what is that? Skinny fat.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're going to still have inner health problems. You're still going to have flare-ups. Still going to have inflammation because you're not fixing the root
Hmm.
cause.
Right.
So,
So because we are tough health coaches, because we are, we're, we are pretty hardcore. We're the last house on the block. They
yeah.
will try everything else. Unfortunately, they drain their bank accounts first, and then
Yes.
they come to us and say, "Oh gosh, you're expensive." And we are the last thing that you'll ever drop money into
You
because we
know,
teach you how to do it for life.
you know what I was thinking just now? This is a random thought. We should put together a bar graph of how much people spend
Yeah.
in total on month to month on
Uh-huh.
either products or shots and compare all of them and
Your
then
marketing
compare it
brain
to,
is working.
I know now it is during our podcast.
During a live podcast. It's blowing
Anyway,
up. Yeah, you go for
I
it.
would be curious just
Go
to have
for
a
it.
visualization
Mm-hmm.
to see what that is when you're investing in your healthy root, like,
Yeah.
like trying to turn your ailments around
Yeah.
kind of
I'll give you
lifestyle.
your
Like
first
just,
two. I'll give
yeah.
you your first two. The shot,
Okay.
1,100 to 1,300 a month for the
Ooh,
shot. Optavia is 450 for their crap food. There's two of them right there.
which is all soy based, right?
All soy based. Yeah. Which is
Anyway.
really screwing over women's hormones
Oh,
when you
yeah.
bring in soy. Like,
Ah,
there's the first two for you. And that's if you get
yes.
the cheap plan.
You know what I think happens to us? We can't let this go.
I can't let it go because it's hurting our people.
It's hurting.
I have people, I'm going to put my seatbelt on my soapbox, but I have people who come to me completely destroyed because of these products. They have a full out eating disorder because they can't imagine eating over 800 calories, because they can't imagine not opening a package of one of their feedings and actually eating whole, healthy foods. They have a full-fledged eating disorder because these people have changed the base of their brain to say that you have to have these foods in order to lose weight. And they're losing weight because they're starving themselves. But then
Right.
they come to us and we've got to reverse their diet and get them actually eating again and fix their metabolism so that they can lose weight again.
Mm-hmm.
Here's one for you, Dars. This is going to
Okay.
blow your mind.
Okay.
You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Mm.
Jim Rohn said that.
Hmm.
You are the average. So I want you to think about this. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So think about that in your health world,
Yeah.
right? When we transition our clients over to Whole Foods and they have an entire family, let's say they have an entire family full of carb eaters, of processed food eaters, and they go and those are the average of the 5 people they spend time with. How long, this is a question for you, how long do you think it's going to be before they cannot sustain their lifestyle that we've put them on?
Well, based on coaching these people,
Yeah,
I believe that it would be less than 3 months. Like there's
you're
the
right.
first month where you're gun ho, you're not
You're
going to
right.
let anything persuade you to go right and left. And then you start to realize that, oh, well, there's so many cases that I'm around these people or around these people in um during, I don't know, parties or
Families.
get-togethers,
Yeah.
family things. Those come around more often than we realize. And then you start to question, and they're
Right.
also speaking life into you, not life, they're
Right.
speaking death into
Death.
you.
Right.
And then you're like being persuaded into well, maybe this isn't the right thing for me. And then then that FOMO starts to creep in there.
Yep.
And then by week or month 3, then you're starting to, if you were tracking, like in our program, you'd start to not track on the weekends.
Yep.
And then the habit continues where, I enjoyed not tracking.
Yeah.
And then, it comes to not just the weekends, but then maybe once or twice a week.
Yep.
And then it's really hard to get back in the groove because, and then you're lost.
So the map, we map our clients out. The map would look exactly like what you're saying. That first 3 months, they're going to lose about 50 pounds.
Yeah.
Typically around 25 to 50 pounds. That's a big scope, but they're going to do massive weight loss damage those first 3 months.
This is working. I feel great.
It's working. And then what happens is then they will lose 5 pounds. They'll lose their last 5 pounds. They'll gain it. They'll lose it. So they will pay us. I'm not even kidding you about that. They will pay us a monthly fee so that we coach them. We will be on the phone with them every week. They will continue to pay us for about a year and a half after those 3 months. And what we're doing, the first 3 months, we're losing about 50 to 60 pounds. Sometimes we'll give them an extra couple of months, up to 5 months. Let's say they do great for 5 months. And then, so they lose 20 to 50 pounds in that. Then the second 6 months, on to about a year and a half. They pay us a monthly fee, but we gain the same 5 pounds. We lose the same 5 pounds. How is that? Because they've chosen the wrong tribe. They've
Mm.
chosen a tribe that is toxic, that is either some of them out and out self-sabotage their people. We have so many enablers in our lives. Some of them accidentally do it. Some of them take that first bite because they're with that special occasion, right? So they hang out with toxic people, and then we just gain and lose the same 5 pounds for about a year and a half until they finally cancel and say, oh gosh, your program doesn't work.
Yeah. Well, in the same breath, those people, when they do make a call with, because they get a weekly or a monthly call with us
Mhm.
when they do that,
Mhm.
you can hear their motivation start to resurface
Yes.
when they talk to us, which shows
Yes.
me when you surround yourself with somebody that has your health in interest
Mhm.
and wants to help you hit that goal.
Yes.
Because we don't give up on our clients. Even though they do that,
Mm-mm.
we don't give up on them. We check in on them. We
Mhm.
do that just to make sure that, hey, we're here for you when you're ready.
Yeah.
That's when they're like, okay, I'm going to do this. We set them, we give them a list of things to start back doing. And
Mhm.
then they might start it in the day and then they quickly forget because
Mhm.
a week's went by
Yeah.
and there's nobody to talk to the next week and there's nobody talking
Yep.
to the next week. And so that one time having a conversation with a coach, yeah, that's very
Mhm.
motivating. Anytime
Yeah.
we go to any motivational speaking event,
Mhm.
conference, you get motivated. You
Mhm.
are wanting to surround yourself with positivity. And then it's also like a church camp. All these
Yeah.
kids going to church camps and they're, oh, Jesus, blah, blah,
Jesus.
blah.
Yeah.
And then how do you keep that uplifting spirit and
Stay with the people.
motivation?
Mhm.
Yeah. In order to continue that, you've got to stay with the people that
Yeah.
also, like what your quote was saying,
Yeah.
that you surround yourself
Who are
with.
the
But
five
if
people
you're
you hang around? Are they
yeah,
healthy?
if you meet with one person that's super healthy and then
Mhm.
you surround yourself with a lot
Like
more
five who are
people,
sugar eaters?
you know what I remember? Like, back in the day, I don't know if anybody's youth group was like this, but they would do plays or skits. I don't know
Mhm.
if you remember that, but one of the skits was where you'd be dancing along to this inspirational song, and then you'd step up on a chair, and you've got the enemy that's trying to pull you down, and how it's
Mhm.
easier, that whole skit.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's exactly true because
Yeah.
it's easier to pull somebody down into that dark pit
Yeah.
into their world than it is to have that strength to stay up
Yeah.
and unless you
Yeah.
have more people holding
Right.
you up, right?
Another quote from Benjamin Hardy says, surrounding yourself with people who have higher standards than you is the fastest way to change. In
Mm.
fact, I believe it's the only way to truly and permanently change. Who are you hanging with? Are you hanging with people who don't care about their health? Are you hanging with sugar addicted people? Are you hanging with convenience based people who only have time to go through the drive through? Are you hanging with obese people? Are you hanging with skinny people? Those things do matter. As politically incorrect as that sounds, those things matter. If you if you are not moving at all, you're not going up and you're not going down, you're going down. That's huge. That's
Mm.
one of the things that we were trained in the addiction and the holistic medicine for addiction program that I took is imagine yourself on an escalator. If you are not moving, you are sinking. That's a big deal. Who you hang around with it matters. Who surrounds you really matters.
What
And
would
you
you
know,
say?
mhm,
I was going to say in that quote, what would you say if, you had somebody who's ready to do this lifestyle with you? Like, so you bring on an accountability person that
mhm.
maybe has never done this as well. Do you
Right.
still need to have a mentor or somebody that is,
Right.
a third person?
Yes. That
Or do
is,
you think that equal like unknowing knowledge is
yeah.
going to benefit or be negative?
I am so glad you brought this up because unfortunately we're to the place in our practice now where we've got the research, we got the statistics, we've got the clients who were casualties, right? We have had more times than not, and I am pro mental health. I
Yes.
want your butt in a counselor's seat. As a healthy coach, I want you to process your thoughts with another person. However, we have seen more times than not a therapist destroy a client's health. We
Mm,
get into the trauma healings. We get into the feel goods and the trauma and the past trauma and the heavy work that sometimes therapists do with their patients, completely destroy the health of that patient. I watched a patient self sabotage as she went to intense therapy, like intense, like weekends. She came back 50 pounds heavier because that therapist spoke into what she was wanting to speak into, but she did not protect that patient's health.
mm,
And in the food addiction side of my practice, we do not recommend therapy until after you've gotten a hold, until you are in recovery and remission.
yeah.
Because number one, the red dog that we talked about in a previous podcast is so loud and so conniving that they will talk you in and out of anything at once. So with an emotional eater or a harmful use eater, we recommend therapy on the front side because
Yeah.
that, with the caveat that I'm pointing, with the caveat that therapist understands nutrition.
Right.
I have a beautiful client right now. She's in my addiction side who works with a therapist who understands food addiction. The care team that this woman has put in place is beautiful, from
Mm,
her physician to her therapist to her nutritionist. We all work in tandem. In fact, I share notes with her therapist. That is a beautiful situation that's working. She has surrounded herself with a care team who wants whole body health, not just mind health. Therapists who just want mind health will have the client failing within 6 months, coming back to me with 50 pounds on their body, right? So the timing of the therapy and the care team and the people you surround yourself, from your friends all the way to your doctors and your care team, those matter. Who you surround yourself matters. So we want to ask you, who are you surrounding yourself with? Are there people, and Darcy, maybe I'll ask you this personal question, and I, if you can't answer it, I will. Have you had to think about your friend structure, and have you had to separate yourself from toxic relationships to make yourself continue in your health journey?
Yes, I have. And how I did that was because I was um, so worried about people pleasing and making sure that I had to prove myself. I heard the scripture of, do not throw your pearls before the swine. And that
Mm-hmm.
to me took heart. That was a game changer for me. And it was like, why am I trying to prove myself when I know this is working for me?
Mm-hmm.
And I know that, no, I don't know everything right now, honestly. And I don't have to try and act like I do. I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to continue to educate myself. I'm going to continue to have that mindset and that growth. Um, but I don't need to have these people in my life or be proactive to keep them in my life.
Right.
And when I was not as proactive of keeping them in my life and I was kind of one-sided, then I realized that I was no longer needed. Like I was no longer
Uh-huh.
reached out to. So
Yeah.
I knew that I was the thread holding the
Yeah.
relationship together. And I don't know why I was holding on to those relationships like that. But I'm okay with it now. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
okay if people don't feel the need to reach out to me.
Mm-hmm.
They don't feel the need to go above and beyond to check in or say, "Hey, are you doing great?" I don't need that
Yeah.
affirmation
Right.
because I learned how to know myself first
Mm-hmm.
before. Just like you're
Right.
talking about with the counseling. You have to learn to know yourself and how you work first
Mm-hmm.
in order for yourself to um kind of get a good built on your
Right.
foundation.
Right.
So, and
Yeah.
that was me having to be curious. I had to
Mm-hmm.
be curious about the myself,
Mm-hmm.
and it might sound selfish to do that, especially to a woman, because we don't want to be selfish and we
Right.
don't want to be called selfish.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but if we are emptying our cup to other people that really don't care and they
Right.
really don't have any interest in knowing what you're doing, then you're just wasting the stuff that's in your cup for
Right.
first of all. And then if you are not refilling your own cup, then you're just pouring out
Yeah.
emptiness
Right.
and it's not legit and it's not honest.
Right. Yeah. And sometimes this is really hard, but sometimes it's a family member.
Yeah.
So getting rid of friendships can be a little bit easier, I think, but sometimes it's our own families that betray us. It's our own families who we have to put, you don't have to necessarily cut them out, but you have got to put some healthy boundaries
Mhm.
up.
You might be
Um,
married to that
you
person,
might be married to that person. Yeah. And you
you
might
know?
need to have a hard conversation and put some boundaries up that protects yourself from the toxicity.
Yeah.
So as we land this plane today, I know sometimes it's really hard to land a plane, but I think today, this quote here from Jordan Peterson really helps us land this. If you have a friend whose friendship you wouldn't recommend to your sister or your father or your son, why would you have such a friend for yourself?
Mm.
And I think sometimes, like Darcy said, we are so wanting to give and give and give because we want to be put in a situation that is pleasant. We don't want negativity. We don't want the toxic. So we sacrifice our own health for people that we wouldn't even recommend to our sibling, to our kids. And we put ourselves in that. And I think, I got a little bit of a feminist that lives in my heart sometimes.
I think we both do.
I'm a Proverbs 31 woman all the way to the core. However, I think there's some things that we sometimes do that we give away our power. We give
Yeah.
away our power to people who don't even care.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
so
yeah.
we want to encourage our audience today to find your tribe. Who are those people that you hang with? Are they people who want health for you? Are they people who even want you to lose weight? A lot of people, I will go in 6 months into a counseling or counseling. I'm not a counselor. I don't play one on the internet to a coaching session and find out that this person is living with someone who prefers a thicker woman.
Hmm.
I didn't even know that as I started to work with them. It's
Yeah.
like, wait a minute here. So we want you to get control over your tribe. And maybe there's some toxic relationships that need to be taken care of and need to be, put a boundary in between you and that person. And to know you have not failed in that. You are protecting yourself and you're empowering yourself because the people who need you are going to have you for a lot longer in
Right.
life, right?
Yes. And my final thoughts would be, just, trying it out, experiment to see what it is
Yeah.
like and how do you feel? And again, I'm always going to advocate journaling it out
Mm-hmm.
because you're getting it out of your head. But write out how you are feeling. Is it a freedom that you're feeling? If you're feeling freedom from a relationship, then
Mm-hmm.
you might want to, be like, well, why is that? What was it that they may have been
Mm-hmm.
doing or pointing me towards
Yeah.
that may not have been healthy for me?
Yeah.
And be okay. And I love this phrase of just, and it's two words, let them.
Let them. Yeah.
That is my favorite, well, one of my favorite phrases,
Yeah.
but just let them because as long as you are doing your oh, I just trying
Do
to say that
due diligence.
due diligence on building a healthier you, then by
Yeah.
golly, let them
Yeah.
try to just defeat you or put negative thoughts into your mind.
Yeah.
Because they're not
Yeah.
going to if you have a good tribe that will lift
Yeah.
you up.
You
You raise
can't
me up,
hang out with negative people and expect a positive life. Darren
right?
Hardy.
Ugh,
You can't.
nope.
So, is who you're spending time with who you want to become? I want you to think about a year from now. If you are hanging out with the same people, if you are doing the same health journey, if you are doing the same things this time next year, will it be who you want to become, or is it going to take you away from that person?
Mm,
If it's taking away from that person that you want to become, it's time to escape. You don't have to put that in your life. You can control what comes into your heart, what leaves your heart. You can control that. So distance yourself. If you need help on your health journey, My gosh, we have a tribe that as coaches, I can't wait for Mondays because
Right.
we have a tribe of people who want their health and who are seeking good health and are seeking friendships within this group that want to be healthy, well rounded people. Come to our tribe. We are here. We have an entire neighborhood of people who support each other, who push each other, who encourage each other. And the end result of that is health,
Right.
weight loss, healing of metabolic diseases, all of those things. Put yourself around those kind of people.
And if you think about it, if you know you're just going to keep doing what you're doing and you are not going to let anybody change your mind,
Mm-hmm.
you don't know who you're going to inspire.
Mm-hmm.
You could
That's
be
right.
inspiring that person that was super negative to you
Mm-hmm.
and super doubtful.
Yeah.
You don't know what happens when you take lead
Mm-hmm.
in that.
Right.
Instead of giving them the power, you took power and now you are inspiring others. And that to
Yes.
me is huge.
Yes. Take
It's
your power
empowering.
back and
Yeah.
find your tribe. That's our encouragement to you today. We release a new podcast every Tuesday morning at 6 a.m. We would really be grateful if you would give us a review on Apple. We are on every podcasting app that you can think of. I think all 18 of them. And so we would love to have you share those. We would love for you to tell your family and friends about us. And as always, please leave us a review. Let us know what you want us to talk about. Sometimes we get in a rut and we're like, well, we're going to talk about this, and you want to talk about something else. So please let us know. Also, if you are not a part of our free Facebook groups, Coach Darcy has one called the Weight Loss Project. I have one called food addiction
And
support.
recovery.
It's a food addiction and recovery. Come over to Facebook, find us. We're a tribe in there that is just waiting for you to come help and support you. Come find us over there. Also, our website is kmhealthcoaching.org. If you want a coaching relationship, if you're tired of doing this thing by yourself, we encourage you to hop over there, find a coach, set up a wellness call with us, and we will set you on the right path. And again, make sure you find the Easter egg in this broadcast. Join us for the 30-day carnivore challenge starting October the 1st and type in a coupon code Easter egg and you will get $5 off of that. In this economy, anything helps. So we just
Yeah.
want to say thank you for listening to this podcast and choose your tribe, find your tribe, and know that you are not alone on this journey. We'll see you next week.
Bye.